they're claiming that they raising the banner of Islam is claiming that they follow Quran and Sunnah. And when you look into what they're doing, or saying, or spreading, or have written, or stated on tape, you find it at total variance. You find it diametrically opposed. You find it totally opposite to what Allah Ta'ala sent down from the heavens, from what was explained by the Prophet ﷺ and was implemented and understood and acted upon by his companions radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. Anyone can claim anything. Given the opportunity, men, as it comes in the narration, would claim everything. But the evidence, the proof, the burhan, the dalil, is when you find the person believing, applying, acting upon, and giving da'wah to Quran and Sunnah, and understanding that, and all that what I mentioned already, according to the way of the salafee salih. This means we can't go into the book of Allah and find a verse in Quran and apply it the way we want to apply it, whether upon ourselves or individuals. This means we can't go into the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam contained in the books of Ahadith, so like Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, Ibn Majah, Tirmidhi, Nisai, Abu Dawud, Muwatta, Imam Malik, Muslim, Imam Ahmad, and so on and so forth, and bring a hadith and apply it like we want to apply it. We must apply the verses of Quran and the ahadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As understood by the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As understood ala fahm salaf salih, for understanding of the salaf as-salih, the righteous salaf, which are the Sahaba and their students and those who follow them righteously. And we give importance when we do that to what they gave importance to. So Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, since they have Jama'ah, the group, and they consider unity to be the utmost important, because they consider unity as rahmah. They consider al-jama'ah for unity, rahmah, mercy, wa firqa adab, splitting, separating, turning away from one another, being different groups and parties. They consider that adab. They consider that punishment. Based upon a hadith of the Prophet that stated that. Being together is rahmah, mercy. Firqa is adab, being separate, disliking one another, disrespecting one another. Sadaqallah. Being away from one another, being in different parties and groups, having different loyalties to different masajid. This is adab, punishment. Punishment, no doubt. It's the ayat in Quran which states they will continue to differ except those on who the mercy of Allah is upon. It's the meaning of the ayat. Rahimahullaah, that's the one who the mercy of Allah is on. They will continue to differ into that. When you see the people in ikhtilaf, differing in their opinions and viewpoints to agree, where they separate from one another, and each one is calling each one bad names, disrespecting one another, separating brothers from brothers and sisters from sisters, this is adab. And this is an indication that the mercy of Allah is not upon that group of people or those people. Ahlul Sunnah, the Jama'ah, it says that we want everyone to gather, everyone to be a Jama'ah, every Muslim that face Qibla, to gather together and be together upon the correct path. And they do this, Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, the people who have chosen Sunnah as their way of life, they do this by doing two things. The first thing is they spread knowledge. The people are different because they're jihad, because they're ignorant. If they weren't ignorant, they would not be different. If they weren't ignorant, they would be together. If they were ignorant, they would not say and do the things that they do that create disunity and discord and hatefulness and distrust amongst them. No doubt it's because of that, ignorance. So the cure or the remedy for ignorance is ilm, knowledge, ilm shari, the legislative knowledge, knowledge of the Book of Allah, knowledge of the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, knowledge of the way of the Sahaba, radiallahu anhum, and no doubt that knowledge has to be acted upon, otherwise it will be evidence against the person, not for the person on the day of judgment. Because we know before the people leave the court of Allah, tabaraka wa ta'ala, on the day of judgment, they will be asked 4 questions, and amongst them is your knowledge, did you act upon it? Your knowledge, and did you act accordingly? Did you act upon it? So Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, the people who have chosen the Sunnah as a way of life, spread knowledge. Balligh anni walau ayah. Propagate from me, inform others of me, even as one ayah. They know something of the Sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They know the meaning of the Shahada. They know a tafsir of an ayah. They know something that you shouldn't do, or something that you should do, or something that is mustahab, preferred that you do and Allah loves it, or something that's makruh that you should avoid. They inform, they believe in and act upon it themselves, and then they inform others. Ilm, knowledge spread amongst the people brings them together, brings unity. So this is one of the means that Ahlul Sunnah, the people who have chosen Sunnah as a way of life, use to bring about unity. The second manner that they use is they warn. They sternly and severely warn against splitting, against becoming groups and parties, against hizbiyah, which is the form of group or party, and believe that you or that group and party are the only ones on the haqq and everyone else is astray, and that everyone has to follow that particular group or party. Those who are in that group or party you love and respect and have a camaraderie with. Those who are outside that group or party you distrust, disrespect, and do not have a camaraderie with. This is called hizbiyah. Hizbiyah. And Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, as-salafiyyin, ad-da' al-athar or athar, those who follow the narration, they warn, sternly warn against this. Because this is what has the Muslims, one of the main reasons why the Muslims are not in a position of power or respect in this world now. Because we are so busy fighting amongst ourselves, disliking ourselves, disrespecting ourselves, that the enemy can come and do and has done whatever he or she wishes. So Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, the people who have chosen the Sunnah as their way of life, say, look, Ya Ummah of Muhammad, we must come together on the Book of Allah, upon the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as understood and believed and practiced by the companions of the Prophet of Allah, radiallahu anhum ajma'een. This is the only means of unity. This is the only means of unity. Back to the knowledge that they want to spread to achieve this unity. It is a knowledge which is based upon two things. A knowledge, Allah, go wash your face, come back. A knowledge which is based upon two things. التزكية والتربية. التزكية والتربية. تزكية يا جهاد تزكية is cleansing Islam or what has been placed or made part of it which is not from it. Cleaning our beliefs, our aqidah from all wrong beliefs, from the philosophers, whether they be Greek or Indian, and things that they introduced from the wrong groups, firqa, the firq, or the groups that the Prophet ﷺ warned us about when he said this ummah was split into 73 groups, all in hellfire except one. Cleansing tasfiyah is to cleanse your aqidah from all of that, and to make sure your aqidah is the same aqidah. Your iman is the same iman. Meaning aqidah here, iman billah wa malaika wa kutubi wa rasulih. To the end of that, to the end of the six matters that we must believe in, arkan al-sittah, cleansing that aqidah and making sure that you're in aqidah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his sahaba. Cleansing fiqh, our understanding, our method of worship from things that have been introduced. Our method of worship being upon the Sunnah. Cleansing the Sunnah from bid'ah. Making sure that the actual worship, the things we believe and the things that we do, have no innovations in them, but is in accordance with the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Cleansing our history, Islamic history, from the confusion and the filth and the lies that have been written in books that did not take the time or attention or cared whether or not they related what was authentic. Cleansing the tafsir, the books of tafsir, from incorrect tafsir and from the Israeliyat, the narrations of the Yahud that can be contained in some of them. Cleansing our behavior from ghish, deceit, and mistrust, and conniving, and trickery, and lying, and bad behavior. Tasfiyah, cleansing. After this is cleansed, the second portion takes place also, tarbiyah. Then raising ourselves upon that deen, raising, tarbiyah is to raise someone, or to raise something. Okay, I've raised my son not to do such and such. You've given him the tarbiyah that he doesn't do such and such. Raising ourselves on that pure, clear, crystal clear Islam that has been cleansed. Applying it, believing in it, and applying it in all aspects of our lives. This is what ad-da'watus-salafiyyah, wa ahl al-sunnah wal-jama'ah, wa ahl al-hadith, wa ansar al-sunnah are about. Ilm, knowledge, will bring unity. The other means that will bring unity is warning against any separation. We should feel in our heart a deep remorse and sadness and grief that every Muslim is not unified, that the Muslims don't have unity. It should be in our ad'iyah, our prayers, our dua, in sajda, between every adhan and iqamah, between Asr and Maghrib, like this on Jummah, the time when Allah will answer dua. Say, oh Allah, gather the Muslims upon the haqq. And it should be in our dua. We should be concerned when we get up in the morning, when we do that sunnah, asbahna. Was in the state of death, because sleep is the brother of death.